Well, back in summer, British Deputy Labour leader Harriet Harman caused a stir when, in response to a question on whether a financial crisis could have been avoided if there were more women in senior management roles, she replied, things would be different if Lehman Brothers had been Lehman sisters. Is there any basis to that? How much difference do women in business actually make? According to our next guest, Gita Patel, co-founder of Stargate Capital and fund manager of TRAPEZIA Funds, a fund that focuses on women in business and investing in them. Gita is with us now live from London. Gita, how much of a game changer is it really to have women on the board of a company? Because there's plenty that can be said on sort of a social psychology basis, but can we quantify the impact?
Well, if you look at it like this, let's look at the risk associated with one-gender boards. In order that you remove that risk, what you find is that if you get a contribution from both genders, the boards actually work more effectively. So I think it's actually quite important to have the different skill sets that women bring into the boardroom. And this can be their collaborative approach. This can be their totally different network of influence that they bring. This can be different perspectives, different mindsets, etc. And what you tend to find is that because also they ultimately control 80% of the purchase decision, they effectively are the end consumer, and they know how to actually target this market.
So
and I think when you bring those attributes,
does that mean though then that you are focused mainly on women in a consumer-oriented business as having the most direct impact because women tend to be the decision makers for consumption?
Not necessarily just that end, because just the general profile of women, you know, their attitude to risk is different. Their appetite for risk is different. They're hot on corporate governance. They tend to make boards work better together. So I think there are other attributes beyond the consumer and the spending power.
So what opportunities are your funds finding right now? What is Stargate, what are you betting on?
Well, we're looking at businesses. We have very strong deal flow in businesses that are across all the sectors, really. Because what you find is that, you know, women have done the education parity, they've done the professional parity. Now you've got a serious breed of women entrepreneurs that are coming over that are really now trying to set up some big businesses. And a lot of them are actually doing that because they choose to do that.
Where are these women, though? Because by many reports, Europe tends to lag the United States in terms of integration of women into the workplace.
Well, if you look at what's going on in the UK, we've got 1 million businesses that are run by women, and they're set to double in growth in the next 10 years. If you look at Europe, the story is the same. The US is clearly way ahead. But certainly, there's every day we see entrepreneurs, and we see real-life businesses coming to us that want funding. So what we did was, based on our research back in 2005, we actually led the way. We created Europe's first venture capital product to invest in businesses in which women had an influential role. The businesses that we were targeting were businesses that were scalable and businesses that were largely led, managed, or substantially influenced by a woman, because all the research was showing that these businesses tended to outperform.
All right, thank you so much.
Then look at
Gita, thank you so much for sharing your insight and your outlook there on this issue. That's Gita Patel joining us live from London.